It was a moment no one could have planned. A simple, almost trivial scene that turned into something unforgettable. Ronaldo and Paracini stood together on stage, lights flashing, cameras focused, and the air thick with the seriousness of a formal event. Everything was lined up perfectly: the script, the speeches, the decorum. But as Ronaldo approached the microphone, something disrupted the perfection. The microphone was too low. It was such a small detail, yet what happened next transformed the entire atmosphere. Ronaldo bent slightly, looked at the microphone, smiled, and said something witty to Paracini. The audience burst into laughter. That tiny interaction, completely unscripted, broke the rigid formality of the room. The tension melted away. In a matter of seconds, Ronaldo reminded everyone that greatness isn't just about trophies and statistics. It's about presence, timing, and the ability to turn the ordinary into something alive. His reaction revealed something deeper than humor. When life throws you an unexpected moment, you have two choices: to get irritated or to embrace it. Ronaldo chose the latter. He didn't let the situation control him, he controlled the situation with grace and confidence. That's what true composure looks like: the ability to stay centered when small things go off script. It's the difference between someone who reacts from ego and someone who responds from awareness. That's why this moment stood out. Ronaldo didn't just laugh, he led. Without commanding anyone, without even trying, he shifted the energy of the entire room. He showed that leadership doesn't always require dominance or formality. Sometimes it's as simple as knowing how to laugh at yourself. He didn't need to say, "I'm in control." His demeanor said it for him. Paracini played his part perfectly too. His quick, witty comeback added another layer of authenticity to the moment. Together, they created something genuine, a shared human experience. There was no competition, no ego, just two people responding naturally to an imperfect situation. And that's exactly why it resonated so deeply with millions who later watched the clip. When something is real, you feel it. You don't have to analyze it because authenticity carries its own frequency. This wasn't about football, fame, or formality. It was about two people being human in a space that often demands perfection. That's why the moment went viral. The world saw not just laughter, but truth. Philosophically, this moment reflects a simple yet profound principle. Life is not what happens to you, it's how you respond to it. The world is full of moments that don't go according to plan. The microphone will sometimes be too low. Things will break, people will misunderstand, the timing will be off. You can either resist it and lose your calm, or accept it and turn it into connection. Ronaldo chose connection. And that's what separates icons from everyone else. They don't let moments define them. They define the moment. Ronaldo didn't see a technical glitch. He saw an opportunity for humor. That's the mark of emotional intelligence, the ability to read the energy of a room and redirect it effortlessly. But look even deeper. The laughter wasn't just laughter. It was freedom. In a world obsessed with perfection, he reminded everyone that imperfection can be beautiful, that humility doesn't weaken your image, it strengthens it, that laughter isn't a distraction, it's a release. And maybe that's why people connected to that short exchange, because it was a reflection of something we all crave: authenticity. Every unexpected moment in life is a test, not of your ability to fix it, but of your ability to stay calm within it. When the world expects composure, humor can be the highest form of strength. To laugh when others panic, to smile when something goes wrong, is to show mastery not over the moment, but over yourself. That's what Ronaldo demonstrated, perhaps unconsciously, self-command disguised as playfulness. This moment can teach all of us something vital. The next time life surprises you, when plans fall apart, when people misunderstand you, or when things don't go your way, remember the microphone. Remember that you can choose how you respond. You can let irritation shrink you, or you can let humor expand you. Greatness isn't about perfection, it's about the ability to remain whole when things get messy. What made that short clip powerful wasn't the joke itself, it was the energy behind it. A calm mind, a confident smile, and a moment of connection strong enough to make an entire crowd forget the seriousness of the setting. That's real power, not in control, but in presence. And so when you watch that clip again, don't just see it as a funny exchange. See it as a reminder of something profound, that every small moment in life holds the potential to reveal who you truly are. Because sometimes life doesn't test you with big failures or huge obstacles. Sometimes it tests you with something as small as a microphone that's just a little too low. The real question is, how high is your response? What makes certain people unforgettable isn't always their talent, their wealth, or even their achievements. It's the way they carry themselves when nothing extraordinary is happening. In that brief, funny exchange about the microphone, what stood out wasn't the joke itself, but the effortless way Ronaldo handled it. His charisma wasn't rehearsed, it wasn't a product of PR strategy, it was natural, alive, spontaneous. The moment he smiled, the room shifted. It's that invisible quality, presence, that turns ordinary gestures into magnetic ones. You see, true charisma is not about performing. It's about being so authentic, so comfortable in your own skin, that others feel comfortable too. Ronaldo didn't need to force laughter or exaggerate the situation. He simply allowed the moment to unfold and responded from instinct. That's why it worked, because charisma is not something you put on. It's something that emerges when ego steps aside and presence takes over. If you watch closely, there's a subtle confidence in the way he moves, an awareness that he doesn't need to prove anything. He doesn't need validation, applause, or attention. It just comes to him because of who he is and how he shows up. That's the essence of natural confidence. When you no longer need to perform for approval, you start to influence without even trying. Philosophically, this is rooted in self-integration, the idea that power flows through you when your thoughts, emotions, and actions are aligned. Most people fragment themselves. They behave differently when the spotlight is on, fearing judgment or rejection. But when you've spent years mastering your craft, confronting your weaknesses, and accepting your humanity, you reach a point where your presence speaks louder than your words. Ronaldo embodies that level of integration. His charm isn't calculated, it's a reflection of the harmony within him. There's also something psychologically profound in how effortlessly he turns tension into lightness. In a room where every gesture is being recorded and analyzed, most people would overthink. They'd adjust the mic nervously, perhaps laugh awkwardly, or ignore it completely to avoid attention. But Ronaldo does the opposite. He brings attention to it, owns it, and transforms it into humor. That's emotional intelligence in action, reading the energy of the environment and guiding it rather than being guided by it. Great communicators, leaders, and performers share this same trait. They don't suppress the moment, they work with it. It's the art of presence. When you're truly present, you see opportunities hidden inside imperfections. A moment that could have been awkward becomes a moment of connection. A small mistake becomes a shared laugh. And in that laughter, you remind everyone, including yourself, that perfection isn't human, but authenticity is. When Ronaldo spoke, the laughter wasn't just about the mic, it was about relief. It was about the collective recognition that it's okay to be human in a world obsessed with control. That's the power of charisma. It liberates others from the need to pretend. It says, you can breathe.
You can laugh. You don't have to be flawless to be admired. In that sense, charisma is deeply ethical. It's a form of emotional leadership. It's when your comfort becomes a permission slip for others to be comfortable too. Ronaldo's reaction wasn't just funny, it was generous. It lifted the room. It gave everyone permission to relax, to enjoy, to forget the stiffness of the setting. That's what great leaders do. They regulate the emotional climate, often without saying a word. But here's the interesting paradox. You can't fake this kind of presence. You can imitate the gestures, copy the words, even mimic the tone, but people always sense the difference between authenticity and performance. True presence only emerges when your confidence comes from self-awareness rather than image.